Okay, so basically we are doing this free training here. Okay, so that more people will be able to get started with After Effects, right? So let me just okay, all right, so that more people can start using Adobe After Effects. Okay, yeah, the reason why we are conducting this training is one thing. Or some people are self-learner, they can actually get started learning from YouTube and all that, but they still need a starter. They don't know where to start. Okay, so this class basically will provide that information. Okay, how to start animate, how to create a document, how to create a composition and everything in After Effects. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so this event is actually brought to you by Brainimation Studio. Okay, so you can check out their website. And also these three gentlemen here, me, myself, okay, and also Christian and Erica Liu. Okay, so without these two person, okay, this event it's never going to take off. All right, so thanks a lot for Chris and Erica. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm a HRDF certified trainer. Okay, so the software that I train, okay, you can see from the list there. Okay, so you can reach me from the contact number, or you can join my Facebook, or you can connect through LinkedIn. All right, and you can just drop me an email also can. And if you want to PM me also can, you just send me an WhatsApp. All right, so later on I'll share my details on the chat box furthermore. Okay, so I've been doing training since year 2008. All right, and I've been started in this graphic field since 1996. 1996, I started using Photoshop and CorelDRAW. Okay, so that's how it started actually. All right, so yeah, let's get to. Okay, can Chris tell me about yourself?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I am Chris Yen. So I'm a HRDF certified trainer, also a certified professional business coach. I've done NLP, and I've done a lot of training for MDEC, right, for their e-usahawan and entrepreneurship program. I'm their level up coach as well for participants who has their business on track. So if they want to bring it up to the next level, that's how we coach them. So I'm also very passionate on wellness. So I'm a certified wellness planner and a committee member of the Malaysian Wellness Society. So my background, I was formerly a corporate person, a regional controller for Fortune 500 companies. So yeah, that's my contact. You can reach me or look for my Facebook. Just type Chris to Coach and you'll find me. Or you can send me an email. So guys, enjoy the training. You have an excellent trainer, Yavi, with you today.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Okay, next move on. Erica, can you tell me about yourself?
Hello, everybody. Good morning. So I involve a lot with NGOs. So my NGO is Move Malaysia. I'm the project manager there. So it's an international NGO. You can check me out in the My Move Malaysia. Yeah, that is actually the what we call it, the Facebook. I'm an NLP hypnotherapy practitioner. I do personal empowerment coach. So yeah, I train volunteers around the world, and I'm actually a community empowerment leader where I actually help people to start up their passion and also start up what actually their purpose of life. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Erica. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start with After Effects. Okay, so please download the file. Okay, if anybody wants to speak up, right, you can just unmute and then you can speak, no problem. All right. And if one person is talking, so you have to wait for your turn and then you can unmute and talk. Okay, if not, just mute so that there is no disturbance from the background noise. Okay, let me open that. One moment, my After Effects loading. Okay, can you put in the chat box, anyone have used After Effects before? Yes, put a yes there in the chat box. Okay, so some you said using a template. Okay, if you are using a template also, you still need to know how to use After Effects in order for you to use the template. Okay, if you don't know how to use the After Effects, you cannot edit the template, but you can edit little bit, not much. Okay, yeah, so this class basically for beginners with zero knowledge. Okay, if you are already using After Effects also you definitely will learn something. I can promise you that. All right, great. Okay, enable to download. Okay, anyone got problem? Have you downloaded? Any one of you downloaded? Put a yes there. The file. Okay, cool. So you have to click the link, and then you have to go to direct download. Erica, can you put the link again one more time? Okay, so basically, this is how what we call how After Effects looks like, the interface. Okay, when you just started. Okay, here if you see recent, okay, I already worked on some other things. Okay, so I have a list of projects here. Okay, if you want to open back your project, you can get it from here, or you can go to open project. Okay, so in this case, we're going to create a new project. All right, so before we go into this, I'm going to show you what actually we're going to learn for today. All right, so we try to create a simple animation using images. All right, so let me just open the file. Okay, if you have downloaded the file, right, you will find the X50 rendered file. Okay, you can view from your screen as well. Let me just open that. Okay, so basically this is what we will be learning. Okay, so we will use images. Okay, everything in this video are just an image, a plain image. So what I've done is I downloaded this car image X50 from online. Okay, it's a PNG image. And then what I did is I cut out the tire from the body. Okay, you will find there is a PSD file as well. Okay, you can see how the Photoshop file looks like. Okay, later on I'll open that, and then we will just make a simple animation using these images and also text. All right. Okay, so this is a very simple video, but then you will learn the fundamental of how to use After Effects, how to get started. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I already closed that. Share back my. Okay, so come back to After Effects. Okay, so I'm going to click on New Project now. Okay, so here we don't have much option to change. Okay, New Project or Open Project, existing project. Okay, I'm going to choose a new project. Okay, the moment you click New Project, this window will go off, and then you will have this panel. Okay. So before I start with the other things, okay, let's take a look at the the user interface first. Okay, so number one, you will see a project panel. Okay, all these boxes here, we call it panel. All right, so when you click on any panel, it will be highlighted in blue color. That means you are selecting that panel. Okay, so I'm going to click here. This is composition panel, where you will see your output over here. All right, and then down here, we call it a timeline panel. All right, timeline is where you can create your animation, you can edit your animation, and all your assets will be here as well. All right, the one you are working with your project. And in the project panel, it will list down all your assets that you use for your project. For example, in our case, we have that car image and then the audio. Okay, both will be listed in here. Whatever file that we use for our project, we call it asset. Okay, asset for the project. All right, so project panel, it will list down all the assets that you're going to use in your project. Then beside the project panel, you have effect control panel. You can click the text here, okay, to select that panel. Okay, so for example, here you actually have two panels here, project and effect control. If let's say your user interface is not the same as mine, so what you can do is you can go to window up here. You can choose workspace. You can choose a standard. Click standard. Okay, in case, let's say you accidentally close any of the panel, there is a 3 line here. You have for more option for the panel. Let's say I close this, I close my project panel. Okay, to get back any panel from After Effects, you go to window, you will find all your panels here. But of course, you need to know the name of the panel. Okay, so for example, mine missing is the project panel. So I go to window, I choose project. Where is my project? Here, down here. Okay, click on the project panel. I will get back my project panel. Let's say you are not sure what you have closed or whatever, or maybe you reposition your panels. You can actually click and drag to reposition all your panels here. The user interface, you can customize according to your need. Let's say I just simply move around the panels. So if I want to reset back the setting as my default, so what I do, I go to window, I go to workspace, and then I just choose reset standard to save layout. Just reset. When you click reset, you will get back as how it is previously, the default setting. All right, so you can try out that. You can click the project panel and then you drop it here. Okay, maybe the effects and preset you drag to somewhere else. Okay, sometimes accidentally you might drag things. All right, so what you do, you go to window, workspace, reset. You must remember that. Okay, clear so far on the UI? Okay, so what are the panels that we're going to use? Okay, so I'll show you some of it. The main one is the project panel, number one, very important panel. Then you have the composition panel where you will see your preview of your video in the project panel. And then the timeline is for you to edit your animation. Okay, you can create keyframes for animation. You can arrange all your layers. Okay, and then over here on the right hand side, you will see a preview panel. Okay, this preview panel is for you to play back your animation. Okay, any video you want to play, you want to stop, you want to rewind or whatever, you use the preview panel. Then after that, you have effects and preset panel. Effects and preset, you have thousands of effects here. You need to search. Okay, so whatever effect that you want to use, you need to search. Okay, you type, for example, I want blur effect. So I type BLU and then I will get the whatever text with the BLU letter. So I scroll down and then I choose my blur, for example. I want a radial blur, for example. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this is effects and preset. The moment we apply any effect, if you want to edit the effect, how much blur, the amount of blur and all that, you need to go to effect control panel. Okay, I don't have my effect control panel. So what I do, I go to window, effect control. Where is that? Effect control. Here. Effect control panel. Okay, so now I have my effect control panel. To edit effect, you need to go to effect control. To apply effects, you go to effects and preset. Okay, So let's get started. Okay. So number one thing in After Effects, right? When you are creating a video or you edit a video, you need to have a composition. Okay, one moment. Sorry, 1 second. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So in order for you to work on any project, you need to create a composition. Okay. Composition is something like a container where you put all your assets inside. All right. So it's something like a project, but it's not a project. It's a container for you to put your all your asset. But that composition, you need to set the setting for the composition. Okay. So for example, if I go to File here on top, I go to New. Okay. Here I don't have my composition. Sorry about that. Okay. Go to Composition, New Composition. Okay. If I choose New Composition, here you can see the setting for our video. Means the output size, the resolution, the pixel aspect ratio, the frame rate, this is a preview resolution. This doesn't matter, and also the duration. All right. So let's say I want to create a video for to be blast on WhatsApp, for example. Okay. So WhatsApp, the best resolution will be square size, right? So what I do, I set the width and the height to be a same size. Okay, so for example, I type width and height is 1080, something like this. Okay, this is your resolution. Okay, pixel by pixel. And then you have pixel aspect ratio. Okay, by default, this is a square pixel. Okay, most of the devices will be using square pixel. Okay, and then if you notice here, we have a 0.91, 1.21, okay, 1.09. Okay, what is a pixel aspect ratio actually? Okay, if you look at zoom in into any photograph or video, you will able to see its pixel, a single unit of a image, right? Okay, that pixel is actually is a square, right? Normally it's square. There are pixel which is also not square. Sometimes it's a rectangle shape. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. Let me open my Photoshop. Just for demonstration purpose, I want you to understand this pixel aspect ratio. Okay, then while it's opening, okay, so then we have frame rate. Okay, what is a frame rate? How many images appear in a second? Any video that you watch, right, is actually a sequence of images. All right, it's not a video, it's a sequence of images. Okay, sequence of images, when you change, okay, images at certain frame rate, okay, means certain speed, okay, you will look like it's moving actually. Okay, if you remember when we are studying, right, we draw this lady man in a textbook, and then we flip the book, then it will look like the lady man is walking or moving. Okay, so same concept for video, you have a frame rate. Okay, what frame rate do we need to use? Okay, if I click here, down here, I have 8, I have 12, 15, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the higher frame rate, the smoother the video will be. Okay, and if you notice some of the mobile phone, right, it has a very high frame rate. If you want to do slow motion video, you need to shoot your video in a high frame rate, maybe 60 or 120, for example. Okay, depends on your camera's capability. Okay, the maximum number of frame rate. Okay, but default project like normal advertisement, a normal video, you can maintain at 25 or 30, should be fine. Okay, and if you notice, there is a 24. 24 is a default cinema frame rate. When you go to theater, right, not the digital cinema, the film cinema, okay, that one, the default is 24. But nowadays, most of the cinema, they converting to digital already. So digital doesn't matter. You can put a higher resolution, and also depends on their capacity of the projector. All right. So for general purpose, you can use 25 or 30. Okay, why two different? Why not just stick with 25? Okay, if you're doing video for YouTube, for example, Okay, YouTube capable of a higher frame rate. Okay, so if you want your video to be very high quality, so you can increase the frame rate. But then my advice is you maintain at 30 to the max for normal video, even for YouTube. Okay, why maintain 30? The higher frame rate that you use, let's say for example, if I choose 60 frames per second, okay, your computer need to render more frames.
The committee once at a time, so that they can
somebody mute
report
Fikri?
or
Can
tell
someone
me
please mute
what they
Fikri?
are doing and what they have done.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay, your computer need to be very high end in order for them to render more frames per second. Okay, so for example, let's say I have a 2-second video, 2 second only. Okay, if I put 60 frame, right, total number of frames that need to be rendered is 120. Okay, so per frame, let's say it takes about 1 second to render. So the entire 2 seconds, it will take about 120 seconds to render. Okay, that's number one. And let's say I put here 30 frames per second. I have the same 2-second video. Now, the total number of frames that need to be rendered is 60. Okay, 30 frames per second times with 2 seconds, you get 60 frames total. So each frame render duration is 1 second, let's say. So total duration to render this 2-second video is how long? 1 time 30. So within 30 seconds, I can see my video already. That is for rendering. And same thing, when we editing video, we need to go to preview panel to playback, right? So when you play, hit play button, the computer need to process more frames in order to preview your video. So this one, better you maintain the lowest, I maintain 25. Okay, if you want to make something like a stop motion, jagged a bit, then you can put 8 frames per second, also can. Okay, so 1 second, you have a 8 second only. All right. Okay, so I'm going to maintain at 25 frame now. Okay, my Photoshop, I already opened my Photoshop. I'm going to share my Photoshop screen. Okay, this is my Photoshop screen. I go to File, I go to New. Okay, and then the width, let's say I choose something else. Let's say I choose web, for example, or maybe, sorry, not web. Let's say film and video. Okay, this is full HD. Okay, pixel aspect ratio, same as what you've seen in After Effects. Photoshop also got pixel aspect ratio. This one I'm going to change to square, leave it as square, sorry, click OK. I create another document. I create again, new document. Okay, here instead of square pixel, I'm going to put, let's say, I'm going to put anamorphic 2 in bracket. Okay, the pixel aspect ratio is 2. Okay, the square pixel aspect ratio is 1. Okay, they didn't put lah. So in bracket, this is supposed to be 1. Okay, let's say I choose 2, for example, anamorphic. This is depends on your camera's lens. Okay, let's say I click OK, and then I use my brush. Yeah, do back. I don't want this tool. I create a new document again. I go to film. Okay, full HD size, and then here anamorphic. Click OK. Okay, so we have a similar same resolution, same pixel, but then this look like a very landscape, very long, right? Okay, so if I use my brush to paint, okay, black color, see clearly. Okay, and then I go to this document, the first document, also paint. When I zoom in a bit more, I can start to see my pixel here. Zoom in more. Okay, I'm zooming in. Okay, so this is a pixel. If I go to this document, okay, I zoom in to see the pixel. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, can you see the pixel? Okay, this is a square pixel document, and another one is a anamorphic 2.0 pixel aspect ratio. Okay, so you can see the pixel is not actually square, but it's a rectangle shape. So pixel aspect ratio is the width divided by the height of a pixel. Okay, so that is pixel aspect ratio. Okay, so for general purpose, for example, video for YouTube, video for Facebook, okay, or television or whatever, you just maintain as square pixel unless they specify the whatever square pixel that you need to do. Okay, when you shoot video using an anamorphic lens, it will be like this. It will be a rectangle shape, the pixel. All right. So just for your info on this, so I'm going to close this. Okay, let's go back to our After Effects. Okay, so pixel aspect ratio maintain as square pixel, frame rate 25. Okay, this resolution is just a preview resolution. Okay, doesn't matter if you put full or a half, quarter, whatever. Okay, this one, if your video has a lot of effects, okay, when you want to preview, right, playback, if you put full, it will take longer time for you to preview your video. So sometimes we need to change it to quarter so that it process faster. We can see the result much faster. Okay. So all right. Okay, and then duration. Okay, start code. Start time code. Okay, so you can see here. This is hour, minutes, second, and frame. Okay, so for duration here, let's say I put here 25. What will happen if I click outside anywhere? You see, even if I put 25, it becomes 31. If I put another 25, I click outside, it becomes 32. Okay, so that means because of this frame rate is 25 frames per second. Okay, when I put 25, it will add 1 to the second. Same like how minutes and seconds work. For example, I put here 60 seconds, 60. I click outside here, then it becomes 1 minute. If I add another 60 seconds here, okay, so for example, I type 60 here, 60 seconds. I click here, it becomes 2 minutes now. Okay, same goes for the frame. The last number here on the right hand side is frame, followed by second, minutes, and hours. Okay, so in this project, I'm going to maintain at 30 seconds. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then background color, you can put any color. Okay, so it depends what background color you want. I'm going to leave it as black, let's say. Okay, so far, any question you want to ask? Anyone?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi, Yavin.
Do we have to limit the duration? Because we do not know how long our project is going to be. So do we have to set the duration?
Yeah, you can set the duration roughly. Okay, even if you don't know the actual duration, you can put a rough duration first. Okay, and later on you can change this back. All this setting you can change it back.
All right, thank you.
All right, great. Okay, let's say I'm doing a short film, let's say. Okay, I budget about the short film going to be 10 minutes. Okay, but 10 minutes we don't edit here lah. Just for understanding. Let's say I budget is 10 minutes. Okay, so I put here 10. Okay, something like this. Okay, after edit, and then it becomes 20 minutes, right? So 10 minutes composition is not enough. So what I do, I add more. Let's say I go to set composition setting again. Let's say I click OK. Yeah? Let's say I just click OK. When you click OK, two things will happen. Number one, you will have a composition over here in the project panel. You will see a black screen here in your composition panel here. And down here in the timeline, you will see the comp1 name here. All right. So if I want to edit back the resolution, I don't want a square size. I want a full HD size, let's say. Okay, so I go back to composition setting. Okay, click on composition setting. I change back this to 1920, for example. Okay, so this is full HD size, and the duration I don't want 10 minutes. I want 30 seconds. I can change this. Then I click OK. So now you can see from my composition panel, the size is different already now. And the duration here, if you notice, in the timeline, the last digit here is 30 seconds. Clear? Okay, what is rendering? Okay, rendering, when you edit your video, you are in editing mode. Okay, to output the file, you need to create a video, right? For you want to send to WhatsApp, you want to send to Facebook, you want to upload in YouTube, you need to output your project file. To output your project file, there is a process, we call it render. Okay, when you render, you will get an output at certain format that you set. Okay, sometimes the output, it can be sequence of images, it can be a MP4 file, it can be a movie file, AVI file, a JPEG sequence, something like that. Okay, the output, we need to do a setting when we want to output the file. Any more questions? No question? Creating composition, clear? All right, great. Okay, so just to recap back, okay, you must always remember this width and height depends on your where you want to post your video. Let's say I have a video, a marketing video. I want to post in Facebook, I want to post in Instagram, I want to post in WhatsApp, and what else? I want to put in YouTube as well. Let's say 4 different platforms. I'm going to create the same video. Okay, so WhatsApp, the best is going to be square. YouTube, it could be go to up to 8K, 4K, or whatever. Okay, depends on your computer capacity. You choose the highest resolution when you start to create your video. Can you slow down? Which part should I slow down? Can you please be specific, please? All right. So you choose the highest resolution between these 4 platforms. You choose which is the highest resolution. For example, in my case, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Okay, so YouTube will need the highest resolution. Okay, so what resolution should I use? Okay, should I use the 4K resolution or should I use the full HD, for example? That depends on your computer's capability. You can try that. You can try to create a 2K resolution. If you scroll down here, there is a preset. You click the preset. You have Ultra HD. Ultra HD is similar to 4K. Okay, and then you have a Ultra HD 8K. Okay, so you can do that also. If you create a Ultra HD 8K, okay, so when you put your video, everything, when you want to render, right, it will take much longer time, number one, and the file size is going to be very big. All right, so I suggest, okay, from my experience, I just maintain at full HD. Unless there is a really need, you need to create the video at a very high resolution. You want to show your client the best resolution, so you can put 2K. 2K, do we have 2K here? Yeah, film 2K, you can do this. Okay, if you want to put high res, or else for normal purpose, you just maintain at full HD size, 1920x1080. All right, so when you create one video at this resolution, and for other platform, right, let's say WhatsApp, I can't get your screen. Okay, best computer specification for After Effects. Okay, that one later lah. Okay, I can't get your screen, already left behind. Okay, we just started to create a new composition. From composition, new composition. So these are the setting. Okay, so you choose the setting, depends on your output, what size that you want. Okay, so after I created the highest resolution, I copy another composition. Okay, so for example, this one, what I do, I select, I right click, I duplicate. Where is my duplicate? Okay, I don't have my duplicate. I just press Control D. Control D to duplicate. Okay, so I can rename this. The first composition, I rename. I put a name there, underscore 1920 times 1080, something like this, so that I can easily recognize the composition. So this one, I right click, rename, underscore 1080 by 1080, something like this. After I created this duplicate composition, right? Okay, I go to composition setting, I change here 1080. So when the moment I change this, all my text, all my video will be cropped out, right? So you need to rearrange back whatever things that you want to show in this square size. Yes, it's kind of double work. Yes, you have to do that. Okay, or else more complicated work, you redo the entire thing again. Okay, up to you. You want to create one and then you adjust the positioning, or you want to create entirely new composition and redo the work. Up to you. Okay, any more question? How to duplicate? Control D. Press Control and D. You can duplicate. Control D. Okay. Okay, I undo back, undo back, undo back. Okay, so I have this composition. Okay, now, okay, if there is no question, I'm going to start to import my asset. Okay, before import, I'm just going to show you what actually I've done with the car image. Okay, so I'll share my screen here. One moment. So I went to Google, okay, and then I type here X50 side view. Okay, I go to images. Okay, I find the best side images of a car, something like this. Okay, it's a PNG file. I can see it's transparent. Is this the one? Let me see. Yeah, maybe this is the one. Okay, I right click, I save images. Okay, I save it. Okay, in my download folder. Okay, then I open this image in Photoshop. All right, so I'm going to open Photoshop. Access the link. Can't access the link. Farah, what is the error message you are getting? Can't access means what? Should be there is any error message? Okay, I'm sharing my Photoshop. Okay, I'm opening that file, the one I have downloaded. Let's say this is the one. Okay, so here you can see in Photoshop, okay, we're going to animate this tire, right? And also the body parts movement, up and down movement. Okay, if you look at the sample rendered file. Okay, so what I did is I find another tire which is similar, something like this. Okay, I put it on top. Okay, I put it on top and then I cut the background out. Okay, so if I open this file, the one I sent to you, inside the footage, there is a PSD file. Okay, so this is the original one. Okay, so what I did is I cut the shadow and this bottom part out. I put it in a new layer, and then here the body and the above the shadow part, I cut it into a different layer. And then this tire is a different cast tire. Okay, I think it's a Saga or Persona or something. Okay, so then I cut this so that I can animate this individually, separately. Okay, so this is a PSD file. All right, so what I did after that, okay, I just close this. Then I go to my After Effects. I go to import. Okay, to import any file, you go to File, Import. Sorry, not export, import. Import file. Shortcut is Control I. Okay, shortcut to import any file is Control I. All right, or you can also double click at the empty space in the project panel. Project panel, you see empty space, you double click. When you double click, it will open up window to import file. Okay, so I'm going to import this PSD file. I also have this logo and also MP3 file. Okay, so if this PSD file and Illustrator file, if I want to open in After Effects, I need to make sure I put it on a different layer. Okay, so if I put on different layer, I can access individual layer inside of After Effects. All right, so I'm going to select this, and down here you can see import as. Okay, I have footage, I have composition, retain layer sizes, and composition. Okay, this option you only get for Illustrator file and PSD file, Photoshop file. Okay, so if normal image, let's say this is a PNG file, I select the PNG file, I go to import as footage, I don't see my composition, I don't see my composition retain layer sizes. When you select an MP3 file, I go here, I don't have option. But when I select AI file or PSD file, I have more options here. Okay, so why do we have this? If let's say, for example, I choose footage, select the layer, I import. Okay, I click OK. I will have the tire, the shadow, the two tire, the body and the shadow as one layer. Okay, as one image. All right, so but then we want to animate the tire separately, the body separately, so we need to import as a composition or composition retain layer sizes. Okay, let's say I'm going to remove this first, just delete, select the file and then press delete in the keyboard. I'm going to import again, select the file, I'm going to change this to composition first. Okay, just take a look. I choose composition, I click import, just click OK. Okay, now I have two things here. One is a new composition with the file name and also a folder kind of icon. If I click the small arrow here, I'm able to see my layers, the PSD layers. All right, so if I double click my X50 here, I will be able to open it in my timeline, and also the preview will be over here. Okay, you can see the image here is not clear, it's blurry a bit, right? It's jagged a bit, right? So that's because of your preview. If you still remember, when we are creating a new composition, there is a resolution here. This is the resolution. Okay, it's the same thing. So this one doesn't matter. Whatever you put also doesn't matter because this is just a preview. It doesn't affect your output. Okay, so I cancel here. I change this to full. If I click full, I can see this clearly. If I put this quarter, it will be very blurry, but the preview part will be much faster. If you put quarter and click play, it will play much faster. If I put full and I hit play, it will take a bit of time. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to repeat one more time. Okay, I imported as a composition. All right, so what is the difference between composition and composition retain layer sizes? Okay, I double click the X50 composition. I go to my layer down here. When I select any layer, you can see there is a bounding box. To zoom in and zoom out, you just scroll. In the composition panel, you bring your cursor here and then you scroll to zoom out. Okay, so you can see there is a bounding box here. The 9 dots here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 dots here. Okay, so if I select the body, also same thing. I can see the bounding box. If I select the tire, also same thing, the bounding box. If you want to check which layer is which object, you can turn off the visibility, the eye icon here. Okay, you can on and off. Can you see that? Okay, it's changing. Now you don't see, now you see. The body also same. You off, on, off, on. The shadow, if you off, on, you can't see because it's black color. All right. Okay, so if this is black color, right? If I want to make the background color become white color, so what I do is I go back to composition setting. I already selected my X50. I go to composition setting, change the black background color to white color. Choose OK. So background change to white color, click OK. And then now if I turn on my shadow, this is the default one. If I off, you don't see the shadow. Okay. And the tire. So if I turn off this, I can see my tire now. off everything, I can see my tire. Okay, but when I select the layer, when I say select layer means you click on the name of the layer. Click on the name of the layer. Okay, you can see the bounding box is around here. So later on, if I want to animate this, I need to animate the rotation, correct? So I go to my rotation. Later I will show you how to access this. If I rotate, can you see this? It will be spinning centered to this point. Okay, so this one here we call it anchor point. Okay, so any object, it will be spinning centered to the anchor point. So if I want to move the anchor point, I need to use another tool here, pen behind tool. I move it something like this, something roughly. Then when I rotate, it will be rotated over there. But still it is not perfect. Can you see that? Okay, it is spinning not perfect. Okay, so to avoid this, what we do, I'm going to close this again, delete everything. I'm going to import back, select the same PSD file, import as, change from composition footage to composition retain layer sizes. Earlier we import as composition. Now I'm going to import as retain layer sizes. I'm going to import, click OK. Okay, same thing is happening. I have my composition. I have a folder here. Okay, with all the layers. I'm going to double click the X50 composition. Okay, double click, you'll have it here. The layers are here, same like previously. But then now you see when I select the layer, can you see the bounding box? It's not around the composition, but it's around the object. Okay, select the body, you'll see the bounding box is around the body part. And then if I select my tire, the bounding box is here, and you'll notice the anchor point is middle of this object and this tire as well. When I select the layer, you can see the selection here. So now if I want to spin, okay, I can go to my rotation here. This is much better than earlier one. Okay, clear? Any question you want to ask about importing? Import PSD file. Any question? Anyone, you can unmute and you can talk.
Macam mana nak masukkan balik semula tadi? Imported. Bila saya import dia masuk file banyak sangat lah.
Banyak sangat. Select satu file je.
Boleh ulang balik cara mana import masuk sebab saya sangkut di situ. Okey,
no problem,
terima kasih.
No alright. Okay, if you want me to repeat, please tell me. Okay, please tell me. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, from the project panel, highlight the file, then you can delete. Okay. Okay, I'll show to how to change the background shortly. Okay, I go to import file, select the PSD file, one file only. The import as option, change it to composition retain layer sizes. Okay, this one, if you want to animate, normally when you want to animate a round shape, a circle shape. Okay, so you retain layer sizes, then you import. Then you click OK. You got it. Now, if you want to preview your car over here in the composition and you want to bring it in your timeline, you just double click the composition. Okay. You must remember the icon here. This icon, okay, like a film kind of icon, and then you have a green, red color circle. Okay, that is a composition. When I double click, okay, it will open up in my timeline and also in my composition panel. All right, and now let's say I want to change my background color. I don't like this black color. I go to composition setting. Okay, just take a look. Let's say I do it again one more time. I go to composition. I can't click my composition setting. Can you see that? Okay, I can't click. It's gray out. Why? Because we didn't select the composition. How to select a composition? Either you go to project panel, you click here, or, okay, for example, I click here already, right? I go to composition, I can access this. Or let's say I click outside here, I don't select any composition. I go to here, I can't click, right? I need to click the composition name in the timeline here. Here, you can see the blue color line, number 1, and also there is an underline there. Then I go to composition, I can change it. Number 2. Okay. And number 3, how to select a composition. Okay, I already unselect everything. If I go, I can't click. I also can click from the composition panel. You see this box is blue color now. I go to composition, I can click. All right. Okay, I go to composition setting, then the background color, click here and then change. If you want to change to something like say green color, I choose the green color first, then I choose the shading of the green from here. Okay, from this bar, you change the specific color, let's say a red color, and then click again to choose the type of red color. Okay, so you need to click 2 times, not just from here and then click, no. 1, you choose the color from this bar, okay, and then again you choose a color from here, the big area here. Okay, so something like that. So I want to put white color, so choose white color. When you're choosing white color, don't click something like this. This is not white. Okay, you need to click and drag to the corner. Then you click OK. Then click OK again. Now you have a white color background. Is the layer in a picture automatically set up? No. Layer in a picture not automatically set up. You need to do it in Photoshop or Illustrator if you want layer. Okay. If you don't want layer, what you do, you download a tire, the tire with the PNG file. Means the background is transparent, also can. Okay, so for example, I go to import, I go to find, let's see if I have it or not. I don't have. Never mind. Okay, so basically, let's say I import the PNG file, the one I downloaded. This is the PNG file, the original file I import. When I import, you can see it's a PNG file, number 1. Okay, and there is no layer for this PNG file. What I can do is I open up my composition, the empty composition that I created earlier. I can drag and drop. If any asset from the project panel you want to bring into your project, you click and drag, drop it in your timeline over here. Okay, let go. Then you will have your image here. So far clear?
Sir, can you repeat how you do the background color change just now?
Okay, yeah, 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so how do I change my composition background color? Okay, you need to select the composition. For example, this is my comp 1. Okay, click on the comp 1, go to composition, composition setting, background color. Down here, background color, click the color, choose a white color, then click OK. Click OK. Clear? We want to download Photoshop. No, you don't have to download Photoshop because I already created the Photoshop file for you. All right, you just import that Photoshop file. How do you change color or color animation? Okay, later we'll do that step by step. Huh? The changing color is the last part. Okay, any other question you want to ask, guys? Okay, I want you to import this. Okay, you open for After Effects, you create new project, and then you import. You go to File, Import, File, choose the PSD file, and down here, import as, you change to composition, retain layer sizes, click import, then you double click the X50 composition from your project panel. Can you all do that? Okay, I understand some of you don't have After Effects. Okay, so those who already have After Effects, can you all do that? Yes, no? Okay, what I want you guys to do, okay, I delete everything. I want you to open After Effects, go to File, Import, File, choose the PSD file, change import as composition retain layer sizes, click Import, then click OK, then double click the composition, X50, double click. So you will get this. Okay, done, very good, thank you, Mr. Prim. Done. Who is not done? Can you put there? Not yet. Can you put in the chat box? Not yet. If not yet. Okay, all done. Huh? Great, great, great job. Okay, can you change the background color to white color? Okay, X50 file locked. What do you mean by file locked? I don't understand. File locked. Polly, can you unmute and talk?
It just stated there file lock, then the proton video that you show is not there.
Proton video is not there. You need to extract the file.
It's X50 underscore completed, right?
Yeah. Don't open that file. Don't open. I want you to start from scratch.
AE file, right?
Don't open the AE file.
Open which file?
The file that you downloaded, right? Okay,
Uh-huh.
I don't want you to open the project file. The project file is just for your reference in future if you want to check what's happening inside. Okay, I want you to start from zero. So start from zero means I want you to open Illustrator After Effects, can't import file. What do you mean by can't import file? Please be specific. Your question must be very specific.
I think she needs to extract file first.
Yeah, guys, after you download the file, it's a zip file. It's a zip file. You need to right click on the zip file. You need to choose extract here or extract. After extract only, you will be able to see all the file. And then there is a footage folder inside. Inside the footage folder, you'll be able to see the PSD file. Okay, never mind. MP4 file can't be previewed. Never mind. It's okay. It's just for your reference only. I want you to import the PSD file. Is it done? Have you imported the PSD file?
Already.
Okay, let's say you accidentally open the After Effects file, right? You go to File, Close Project. If you accidentally open the one from the sample, okay, you go to File, you close Project. Okay, after Close Project, you go to Import. You choose the PSD file. Footage, import as, change from footage to composition, retain layer sizes. Click Import, click OK. Then double click the composition. Go to composition setting, change the background color to white, number 1, and also increase the size to full HD size. What is full HD size? Full HD size 19201080. And make sure you uncheck the log aspect ratio. Uncheck the log aspect ratio, change to this size. I want this size, this color, and this duration. And square pixel, frame rate 25. This is the setting that I want. You go to composition setting, change as this. Can you all do that? If done, let me know. Done? Mr. Om, can?
Sir, I have problem.
Yeah.
I go to check on the X50.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go to just a minute. I go to composition, new composition, and I choose the background color white.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is when I choose the background color white, then I click OK. It turns out there is a new name com1.
Not new composition. Not new composition. You
Oh,
open the PSD file as composition. Okay, I delete back. Just take a look at my screen one more time. I
okay.
go to import file, select PSD. Here, change to composition retain layer sizes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, this one you must change. You must change when you are importing. Then only you import, you press OK. Then you will get the composition X50, double click to open, then go to composition setting, change this setting 1920 1080 square pixel. Okay, pixel aspect ratio is square pixel, frame rate 25, the duration 30 seconds. Okay, the last digit 2 digit is frame, then followed by second, followed by minutes, followed by hour. Okay, so I want 30 seconds. Background color change to white color. Okay, Jennifer, where you got the file? Okay, the file is given earlier. We have given the link for the file. You need to download the file. It's a zip file. After you download, you need to extract first. Can I get the link one more time? Yes, thanks, Erica. Okay, so Polly, that is the link for to download the file. Okay, if done, just let me know done.
Done, sir. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, any more problem? Okay, no problem. Great. Okay, I click OK here. Okay, now we want to start to animate the tire, let's say. Okay, before animating the tire, okay, let's take a look at the timeline here. Some of the user interface that you need to know. Okay, so number one in the timeline, you will see the eye icon. That is to turn on and off the visibility. Okay, if I off, okay, I can see it's disappeared. Okay, if I on, you got it back. Okay, if let's say you import music, right? Can you see the speaker icon? Okay, you can on and off the speaker if you want to mute the audio. Okay, so that is if you have a video with audio or audio alone. All right, so that is speaker is for the audio and eye is for the visual visibility. Then here you have solo. Solo means if let's say for example this layer front wheel here, if I click solo, you will only see that layer only. If I click against the solo remove, you will see everything. If I click solo at the body part, okay, I only see the body. Okay, so this is solo. So normally when we work in After Effects project, right, there'll be many layers. Okay, 10 layers, 20 layers, 30 layers, 50 layers, that kind of thing. Okay, so when you have a very complicated scene, you need to click solo so that you specifically edit that layer. Okay, that is solo purpose. So make sure don't accidentally click that. Always double check whether you click the solo button anywhere or not. Okay, in case if you don't see any other object, okay, check the solo button. Then you have a lock. If you have completed any part, any layer, you can actually lock that layer so that you don't accidentally select again. I cannot select the layer here. Can you see that? It's like blinking, right? Means you cannot select that layer because it is locked. So you just click back to unlock. Okay, after that, you have an arrow here. Don't click yet now. Okay, then you have this number of layers. And this is for you to put a different color for your different item. Okay, so for example, this is a PSD layer. I highlight all my PSD layer, click the label here, change color to, let's say, blue, for example. So when I change blue, the layer over here also change to blue. Later on, when we put text, maybe we can put a different label color. All right, so that is a coloring. Then you have a layer name. Okay, this is where you can see the names of the layer. Then you have mode. Okay, mode is a blending mode, same like what you saw in Photoshop or Illustrator. You have blending mode like multiply, screen, overlay. Okay, if I click here, you have more options here. You have a multiply. Okay, you have a darken color, a screen, overlay. Okay, so in this example, we are not going to touch on this. Okay, this is actually a blending mode. Same like how you do in Photoshop, you can do it in After Effects as well. All right, then you have a track mat. Okay, track mat, I'm going to touch here, leave it, don't do anything. Then parent and link. Okay, we want to see parent and link. Any animation, okay, whether it's animation software is like Toon Boom, or last time is Flash, now it's Animate CC, okay, or 3D animation like Autodesk Maya, 3D Max, Blender, Houdini, Cinema 4D, or Premiere Pro. Okay, any animation software, you need to understand the parent and child link. Okay, here the name, we call it parent and link. Okay, so the concept is parent and child. What if no mode? Okay, if no mode, you click down here, toggle switch mode. Can you see the toggle switch mode? You'll be able to see different icon here.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so make sure you ask. Anything not clear, please ask, guys. Okay, so you click the toggle mode. I get different things here. Okay, so I'm going to go through this one first. More track mat and then parent link. Okay, later I will click again and I'll explain a bit on this one. Okay, so now parent and child. Parent and child means when you do on something on the parent, the child also will be affected. Something like that. So means the child will always follow the parent. Clear? Okay, one child can only have one parent. One parent can have many child. Okay, one child cannot have more than one parent. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay, so in this case, okay, why I'm talking about parent and child. Okay, let's say I want to make the car bigger. Okay, we already changed the composition setting here, right, to become bigger. But the car, it looks a bit small. Okay, and also I want to move the car down a bit. Okay, so but since every object here is on different layer, if for example, if I select the body layer, we need to select the body and then we need to move it down, right? So but then when I select the body, let's say I just simply click and drag move, I still have my tire left out. So I need to select my layer, tire layer, and then I need to move it down. Okay, select this tire, I need to move it down. But then it's not going to be precise, you must know that. Okay, shadow, select the shadow layer, I move it down, for example. Let's say something like this. So you are manually moving one by one. Okay, but, okay, I'm going to undo back. Okay, I'm going to undo back. Control Z to undo. Okay, so let's say I want to use a parent and child, so that I just move one object only. The rest will follow. Okay, so we have one parent and three child. Okay, so in this case, I want the shadow to become the parent, the rest of the object, the rest of the layer become the child. Okay, how do we do that? All right, so I select parent and link for the front wheel here, and then I choose shadow. Can you see now I have shadow as the parent? Okay, so whatever layer that you select from here is the parent. So the back wheel here also shadow, the body also change it to shadow. Okay, so that means all these three layer, okay, the parent is the shadow. Okay, so if I move the shadow layer, I select my shadow layer, let's say I just simply click and drag, everything will follow. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Do you want me to repeat? Yes, please repeat. All right. Okay, so I'm going to undo back. Okay, so this is the default. Okay, make sure you have the parent and link here. Okay, if I go to toggle switch, I still can see. If let's say you don't see the parent and link, you go to reset your workspace. Can you select all the layer and move as well? Yes, definitely can. Okay, Yoganathan, yes, you may select all the layer and you move, but there is a thing also. Later, I'll show you again. Okay, so for example, okay, so I want to parent, select the top layer here, the parent and link, you change it to shadow first. Select the second layer. When I say select layer, right, make sure you practice by clicking on the name of the layer. Don't click anywhere else, just click on the name of the layer. Okay, click on the name of the layer, then change it to a shadow here. Okay, if I don't select also can lah, but better practice by selecting the layer. Any effect you do, you select that layer. Okay, you must always remember that. Because why? Sometimes when you open up this arrow, you will have a lot of attributes. You'll forget to select. You just simply click and drag. Okay, always practice by clicking on the name of the layer. Practice that. Okay, so because most of you are beginner, you must do this. Unless you're already expert, then no issues. All right. Okay, so click on the layer, go to parent and link, click here, and then choose the shadow as the parent. So all these three layers, change it to shadow, the parent and link, not the track matter. Okay, parent and link. Okay, anyone? Parent and link done. Don't move the layer yet. Don't move the layer. Just change the parent only. If you already moved, undo back. Control Z. All right. Shall we proceed? If any problem, please let me know. I don't mind repeating.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we want to move the layer down. Okay, to move the layer, you select the shadow. You don't use your mouse and drag from the composition panel here, but you use the attribute from the layer down here. Okay, if I click this arrow, I will have a transform. Click arrow again, I will have there's more options here. I have anchor point, position, scale, rotation, and opacity. Okay, this is the fundamental thing that you need to animate. All right, so wherever you see there is a stopwatch, means you can animate. All right, so for example, what I do, I go to position here. Okay, I have two values here, X and Y. X means it will move horizontal, Y means it will move vertically, up and down. All right, so we want to move it down, right? So the second value, when I bring my cursor over, it will be highlighted in white color, and there will be the hand with the two arrow there. You just click and drag the second value. Click and drag. While clicking, drag. If you want to put a specific value, you click and let go, you key in the value. Unable to extract the link. You don't extract the link, but you download the file, then you extract the file. Okay, so here the position, okay, the shadow layer, go to shadow layer, click the small arrow here, click again the arrow under transform, go to position, okay, click and drag the second value, click and drag, bring it down a bit, something like that. How to go to transform? You go to the layer, in the timeline, there will be a small arrow beside the label there. Okay, click, and then click again at the transform, the small arrow here, you'll able to see all these attributes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm just doing, so when we import the file, the PST file, right, X50 PST, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's ask editable layer style or merge layer style.
You just click OK, the default. You don't change anything. Just leave it as default.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, I still can't change background. Change background means what? Change background color, is it? Okay, when we were changing background, I told you, do you have any question to ask or shall we proceed? Okay, you never ask that question. Okay, so make sure when we do certain things, you face problem, you ask immediately, not after we finish that steps, or else the other will be waiting for you. Okay, so change background. I will share the recording of this session. You can check it out also. For now, just leave it as black. No worries. Okay, so for the position, okay, click and drag down, or you can click and let go, type the value. X75, what is that? MK3. Okay, shall we proceed? Okay. Okay, just now somebody said, can we select all the layer and move it? Okay, just take a look, don't do anything. Just take a look, don't do anything. I'm going to remove the parent first. None. Okay, so now no parent, just take a look, don't do. Okay, if I select all the layer, I move it. Okay, so let's say I move lah. I move. Okay, I can move, yes, correct. Okay, but let's say I want to scale up this car. I want to scale up this car. So if I scale up, can you see the position is not changing? Okay, I can make it bigger, but all the objects is centered to their own anchor point. So that's why we need to use the parent and link. Okay, so I undo, undo, undo. Okay, so now I already have my parent. I just go to shadow here and then I scale it up. Can you see that? Okay, if you select all the layer and you scale up, it won't be following the correct positioning. Okay, so that's why we don't select all layer, but we use parent and link. Okay, now what I want you to do, you already moved it down. I want you to make it bigger. I click here, and then there is a scale there. Click and drag the value and make sure the constraint, the link there. Can you see the chain icon there? Constraint proportion. Make sure it is clicked. Don't go and unclick. Okay, if you uncheck this, when you scale it, it will be not in the right proportion. Okay, leave it as default. Okay, so check this thing and then make it slightly bigger, something like this value 169, 170. How to determine which layer should be the parent, or is it just random? Okay, very good question. Okay, cool. Thank you for the question, cool. Okay. Okay, I changed all to none. All right. So now you see the animation that I want to achieve is the car move from out of the composition. It will get into the composition, and then later on it will go out again. That is the goal. And plus the tire should be spinning. Then I want the body also to move up and down. Okay, if I make this tire as my parent, when I rotate animate the tire need to spin, right? I need to animate the rotation. Okay, so when I do that, the car, everything will be rotating as well. Okay, just for demonstration purpose, I change this to tire rear. Okay, when I select this tire and then I go to rotation, when I spin, okay, the car, everything will be spinning. Okay, so definitely this layer cannot be the parent. Okay, let's say the front tire, same concept lah. This tire also we need to spin, so this one also cannot be the parent. And how about the body? Can the body become the parent? Okay, so let's say I select the body. Remember, we need to move up and down the body so that it looks like there is a suspension kind of thing. Okay, so if I do that, let's say I select the body. Select the body as my parent. Okay, so later on when I want to move it, right, everything will be moving up and down, including the tire. I don't want the tire to move up and down. I just want the body to move up and down. So for example, like this. Can you see that? Only the body is moving up and down. Can you see that? Okay, so we want this kind of effect, not not everything is moving. Okay, we don't want this. We want the body only to move up and down. So now let's take a look at the shadow. Okay, so shadow, it doesn't move, it doesn't rotate. Okay, so that's why I use the shadow as my parent. Is it clear? Cool, guys? Yeah, great. Okay, now let's go to the scale. Okay, the scaling, is it done? Guys? Okay, great. Okay, any question on the scaling and positioning? If you don't ask now, later don't ask, please. Okay, if you want me to repeat, I can repeat 100 times also can, but now, not later. Okay, very good. Okay, Prem, which part should I repeat?
Scaling.
Scaling. All right, great, no problem. Okay, I undo back. All right. Okay, so this is the original position we have. Okay, so I'm going to make the shadow as my parent. So I can actually highlight 3 layers, shift click to select multiple layers, and then I click the parent and link, change it to shadow number 1. And then I want to move it down. If I want to move down, I go to shadow layer now, only shadow layer. I don't have to move the rest because it will follow. Okay, click the small arrow here, and then click the transform arrow here, and then go to the position. The second value is the Y value, vertical movement, Y, X and Y, right? So this is a Y value. You bring it down, number 1, and then can you see the scale? You have 100 by default. Click and drag. Click and drag. While clicking, drag. If let's say you accidentally click and let go, right? Your cursor is there, right? It's blinking, right? It's highlighted. You just click outside anywhere. So the blinking will gone. When the text is blue color like this, you click and drag to the left and right. Okay, what is anchor point? Anchor point is the center point here. Don't do anything with the anchor point. Okay, anchor point is the center of this layer. Okay, to move anchor point, we don't move it from here, but we use the tool up here, pan behind tool. Okay, to move anchor point, we don't adjust from here, but from here. Click the pan behind tool, and then you can move your anchor point. Right, just for your information, don't do. Okay, so now, Prem, is it clear?
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Someone else asked. Jasbir, clear?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
All right. Great, Jasbir. Okay, so now we already increased the size, and then we already moved it down. Okay, so we want to start to animate. Okay. Okay, so to animate, okay, I click here, I go to under transform, I can see there is a stopwatch. Anywhere you find this stopwatch icon, that means you can animate that attribute. Okay, so for example, I want to do rotation for the tire. All right, and if you look at the timeline, there is a small blue color icon here. Can you see this icon? Okay, this is your current time indicator, or the playhead, we call it. Okay, so this one you can actually move it in your timeline. Okay, so you can view your whatever video in your timeline, this one. Okay, this playhead should be at the beginning now. I put it at the first frame. When I say first frame, that means at the first. This line should be at the beginning. Okay, when I say last frame, this thing should be at the back. Okay, when I say go to 1 second, okay, when I say go to 1 second, this blue line here should be at 1 second. How do I know 1 second? You take a look at here. Okay, if let's say it's very difficult for me to use the mouse to go to the exact timing, right? Let's say I want to go to 2 seconds. I click and then I move. Very difficult to control mouse, right? Okay, so what do? You just type here. You go to here. I want to go to 3 seconds. I type 300. Why I type 300? I can see 300. So 3 seconds. If I want to go to 5 second time, go to 500. Something like this. If I want to go to first frame and last frame, I just go to my preview panel here. First frame and last frame. Okay, first frame, last frame. And this one is previous frame. Click. You can see it's moving bit by bit. Can you see that? Frame by frame. If 30 seconds, how many frames do we have? How to calculate?
60.
Times 2, right?
Times 2.
30 times 2 frame.
Times 2.
60 frame.
Why times 2?
Ini aja.
Okay, how many frames do we have? How do we calculate? Okay, very good, very good. Okay, because our frame rate is 25 frames per second. Okay, and then the total duration that we have is 30 seconds. So we have to 30 times 25, not 2. Okay, so we have 25 times 30, you calculate 750. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we have total number of 750 frames. So we have to click next frame 750 times to go to the last frame, just for your information. So if you want to go frame by frame, you can choose this, either this one. Or first frame, you click at the preview panel, first frame and last frame. Okay, normally I just click here, go to first frame, I click here. Instead of click here and drag to the end also can. Click and drag to the end also can. You can position here using your mouse, or you can type the value of your time. Let's say I want to go to frame 15, let's say. So I just type 15, enter. So you can see the last digit is 15 now. Let's say I want to go to 10 seconds. So I go to here, I type 10, 00. Can you see that? Any problem with this current time indicator? Current time indicator? All right, great. Okay, so now we want to animate the rotation, correct? Okay, so one moment. Okay, so we want to animate the rotation of the tire, not the shadow, the tire. So I go to the front wheel here, click the arrow here, click the transform arrow here, and then I go to rotation. Okay, I go to first frame. Make sure you are at first frame. I click the stopwatch icon to enable the animation. Click. Okay, the moment you click, it will become blue color, and also you will see a keyframe. There is a small dot here. Okay, blue color, a diamond shape. This one we call it keyframe. Okay, any animation software, the terms we call for this small dot here is keyframe. Okay, so we go to first frame, click the stopwatch. Okay, the stopwatch you only click one time only. Okay, after that I change my time, change the time to something else. Then I need to just change the value to add another keyframe. Let's say I change to something else. I click and drag, I get a different value. So when I play back, if I move this thing, it will be rotating. Clear? Do you want me to repeat?
Yes, yes. Please repeat. Thank you.
Yeah, this one I think 10 times I need to repeat. No worries. All right. Okay, so I go to first frame. Okay, you see. Okay, I already have keyframe, right? Okay, if I click back the stopwatch, the keyframe will gone. Okay, so make sure you just click the keyframe one time only. Okay, so I go to first frame, number 1, and then I click the stopwatch at the rotation for layer, the front tire here. Okay, the front tire, select that layer, go click this icon here, click the icon again, go to rotation, click the stopwatch. The moment you click the stopwatch, you will find a keyframe over here, the diamond shape, blue color diamond shape keyframe. Okay, then next step is you go to last frame. You go to last frame, click from the preview panel, or you can click and drag from this timeline here to the last frame. Then you change the value, how many times you want the wheel to rotate. So for example, in the rotation value, there is two values. Can you see the 0x? And then there is a degree there. Okay, so yes, same keyframe function like Premiere Pro, yes. Okay, so this value, for example, if I type 360, enter, you will see 1x. When I type another 360, enter, it becomes 2x. Let's say I type here 720, it becomes 4x. Okay, so the first value is how many cycle of 360 degree. Okay, so if I go to last frame, I want it to be this thing spinning many times, right? So let's say I roughly simply put let's say I put there 2000 degree rotation. Okay, and then I play back. I go to first frame, then I hit the play stop button here, click. Okay, the moment I click the play button, if you notice, it will become green color first. Slowly, it will become green color. I'm going to stop here. I can make the preview panel much bigger. Drag. This one I don't want. I close it. Close it. Okay, this is my preview panel. In the preview panel, it has few things you need to take note. Okay, shortcut is spacebar and then include a cache before playback. You must check this. Why you need to check this? So that it will calculate all the things in your timeline and then it will play back in real time. If you don't cache right, maybe your playback is not real time. Okay, so you need to check this, number 1. And then the range is work area. Play from current time, you can leave it. Okay, and then frame rate 25. Skip is 0. Skip must be 0. When you play back, if you feel like it's jerking a bit, then you need to make sure, double check the skip. Skip must be 0. And the resolution, let's say I put here full. Let's say I put the resolution, the playback resolution full, but here, this resolution is the preview resolution for here. Okay, this one still quarter, but here I put full, then I go to first frame, I click play button. Now you see my playback is much clean. And can you see the green color it's loading? Okay, still processing. Can you see that? It stops for a while, means it's processing. Okay, something is wrong. What is that? Okay, still processing. Okay, the reason is being that I put that full. The resolution full. Can you see that? When I put full, it's very slow to process. Okay, the green haven't become full yet. Okay, it's still calculating. No chat. You need to wait until the green color fully loaded. Then only you will be able to see the result of your animation.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Where can I find the? I see the preview, but I don't see the cache before playback.
You need to click and drag the panel to become bigger down there. Okay, so for example, okay, I have this. I stop first. Okay, so for example, I have this. When you select your preview panel, you can see the blue color box. You bring your cursor down until it reach the border here. You click and drag down. Okay, this one. Okay, you click and drag down so that you can see more options. Okay, I don't have cache before playback button. Sure, really? Anyone else don't have? Yeah, I think you need to make it bigger. Make your preview panel bigger so that you see more options. Okay, great. Okay, so cache before playback, resolution. Okay, so now you see just now it doesn't load finished. So let's say I change back this to quarter. Okay, the reason why I hit the play button now, because I want to check whether the value is fine or not, whether the wheel is spinning fast enough or not. Okay, so it's loading, still loading. Okay, I already hit the play button. Okay, why it's not playing? Okay, I stop first. Okay, I want you to go to the first wheel here, go to the under transform, click the stopwatch for rotation at the first frame, then you go to the last frame, you put the value here, try with 10x. The first value, 10x. Don't put 1000x, please. Try put 10x, then hit the play button. Can you all do that? Do you want me to repeat?
Yes, sir. Repeat.
Yes, okay. Okay, something went wrong. Hold on now, wait for a while. Okay, it might look a bit complicated. Okay, whatever we learn, new things. Okay, initially, of course, we will feel it's complicated. The moment we already learn that process, okay, you will feel it's very easy. Okay, so always never ever give up. You keep on doing. Okay, actually, it's very simple, very easy. Okay, because I already learned, right? Cycle, will it repeat or stop? Okay, it will repeat automatically. Okay, if you look at here, can you see the loop button here? Okay, you can click the loop button if it doesn't repeat. Okay, if done, just some of you maybe have done, just put a chat box while we're waiting for this to load. Anyone done keyframe for rotation? Okay, still doing. Oh, mine also frozen lah. Yes, correct. Change to 10x at the last frame. Yeah, very good. Yoganathan. Okay, so your tire is spinning too slow. So you go to last frame, you increase the 10x to maybe try with 20x. Then you try to play back again. You go to last frame, you increase the 10x to 20x. And then try to play. If it is still slow, increase 30, 40, 50, keep on increasing until you get the right value. I want it to spin very fast. Okay, shall we take a 10 minutes short break? I don't want to waste your time. So let's go for a short break earlier a bit. Okay, by right after a few more minutes. Okay, we take a 10-minute short break. Okay, come back at 11:55. Okay, washroom ke, tea ke, chaya ke, whatever, you can go now. Okay, see you after 10 minutes. Okay, so if I want to remove any keyframe, okay, I just click the stopwatch to remove keyframe. Then I change back the rotation to 0, 0, and down here also 0 and 0. Okay, so now both everything is 0. Okay, I close this. The first tire, okay, I go to first frame. I click the stopwatch for rotation. Okay, now it is 0, right? Okay, I go to last frame. Okay, and then I can increase this manually, or you can key in the value. Okay, so this, we want the tire to be spinning throughout the duration from 0 to 30 seconds, right? So I type here 200, for example. Okay, and here 0. Make sure the value is same for both tire. So now I have first keyframe, second keyframe. Okay, I select this second tire, click the arrow at transform, scroll down to rotation, and then first frame, make sure you are at first frame, click the stopwatch for rotation, then you go to last frame, rotation, you change to 200x. Then you try to play back. Okay, it's loading. You can see the green color is loading here. Okay, then it will be loading here. After it finish loading only, it will start to play back in real time. Okay, if you want it to play back much sooner, you stop, you change the resolution to half or quarter. Okay, and then you try to play again. Then it will be much faster. But then, of course, the image quality will be lesser. But this just for a preview purpose, so it's not a problem. Clear or not? Krishna Jayanti, can? Okay, is it done? Both tire done? Shall we proceed, or if there is any question, please let me know.
Mr. Yavinesh, how to remove anchor point?
You mean this dots, is it?
Yes.
This one we call it keyframe.
Okay.
Okay. So to remove keyframe, yes, I was expecting this question actually. Okay. So to remove a keyframe, let's say for example, I accidentally put my timeline here and then I change the value. So I will have a keyframe. If you put anywhere your time, you change the value, you will have extra keyframe. To remove keyframe, just click on the keyframe so that it's highlighted in blue color. Press delete in your keyboard. Okay, select the keyframe or click the keyframe, delete in your keyboard. If you want to remove all the keyframe, you just click at the stopwatch. Clear? Any way to copy the effect from one layer without changing it manually? Yes, effect you can copy and paste. And also keyframe you can copy and paste. Okay, so for example, let me show you how to copy and paste keyframe. So for the second tire here, I go to first frame, I remove my keyframe here, removed it. I highlight the first two keyframe here, the two keyframe from the first layer, I copy, Control C to copy, but make sure you need to click. Make sure it's blue color, shift click here, both keyframe are in blue color. I press Control C and then I select this layer, the second layer. Now there is no keyframe, the stopwatch is not clicked. Make sure you put your time indicator at the beginning or where you want the keyframe to start. And then I press Control V. When I press Control V, you can see there is a keyframe here and there is a keyframe here. Clear? Clear, cool? All right, no problem. Let's say for example, I undo back. I put my time indicator over here and then I paste it, Control V. Can you see it's starting from here? Start from here and then ending at the back of our composition. It is still there, but then it won't spin at the beginning. You see, not spinning, and here it's spin. Okay, so when you copy paste keyframe, make sure your time indicator you put at the correct position. Okay, so I undo, I go to first frame, I paste it. Any more question? Questions, please. Can we rotate the tire and yes, put a negative value and it will be anti-clockwise. Put a negative value. First frame, you click the stopwatch, go to last frame, you put a negative 200 there. Okay, But why should we put first X and then adjust 30, 40? Very good question. How do you know we need to put 200? How do you know? Shin. Okay, there is a question, but why we should put 10x first and then adjust to 30 and then adjust to 40 and then adjust to 100? Why? Because we don't know. We don't know how the result going to be. Okay, when we hit play, then we know, oh, the tire is spinning very slow. So we have to increase the speed. So we increase the value. Okay, after I increase, still not enough. Still slow, right? Then I increase more. If let's say I'm not here, you are doing a project, and then how you know how much to put? It all depends on your duration. For example, my animation is maybe about 2 seconds. I don't put 200x. I just maybe put 50x maybe, I don't know. Okay, so it depends. So you have to test it. You put a value, you try to play back. If it is not enough, you increase. You stop the playback, you go to last frame, you increase the value. Okay, clear? Okay, great. Any more questions? Can we proceed? Okay, I'm going to proceed, guys. Okay, great. Okay, so now our tire is spinning. Okay, done. Now I'm going to animate the body up and down movement. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, I'm going to collapse back all this value here. Okay, scroll up. Oops. Okay, click the small arrow here. Okay, go to body here. Okay, to access okay, for example, I click arrow here, it's very troublesome. Click, and then I don't want all, I just want to move up and down. I just want the position, right? You can use the shortcut key of the first letter of all this. A for anchor point, P for position, S for scale, R for rotation, T for opacity, transparency. T is transparency, so you can press. So for example, I select this body layer, I press P, I can see only position. I press R, I can see rotation. I press S, I can see scale. I press T, I see opacity. Okay, so in this case, the body, we want it to move up and down, correct? So I select the body, I press P for position. So moving up and down is just position. So I go to type P. Okay, I can see the position. I go to my first frame. I click the stopwatch. Okay, after that, I go after few frame. I need to test first. Okay, I go down. I go further. If I want to go 4 frames forward. Okay, if I want to go 4 frames forward, either I type in a value or I can press page up and page down. Okay, if I press a page down, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I already at 4 frames. You can see from here. Okay, or maybe let's say 5 frames. Okay, at 5 frames, I want the body to move down a bit. Okay, so how do I move it down? Okay, I click this second value, click and drag. Okay, not so much, just a little bit. Okay, something like that. And then another 5 frame, I go forward 5 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here what I do, I copy and paste the first keyframe. Select the first keyframe, Control C, Control B. So it moves up. So if I move my, can you see that? It's like jumping. Okay, so first you add keyframe. The second one, you move the body down a bit. The third keyframe, I just copy and paste the first one. Is this clear?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, I remove the keyframe by clicking the stopwatch. Okay, now no keyframe, nothing. Okay, I can see my position here, 68, negative 68.5. Okay, so you don't have to remember this, just for your reference only. Okay, first thing, go to first frame, click the stopwatch. Okay, I already have a keyframe there. I go to press page down in my keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6. I don't know. Okay, so let's say I click go to 6 frame here, and then the second value, the Y value, Y is moving up and down, right? The second value, I click and drag. Okay, not so much. If you so much, it becomes like that. Okay, just a little bit only. We want to show that the body is moving following the suspension. Okay, so move down a bit, and then again 6 times, page down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, over here, I need the original keyframe, the original position. So I just copy and paste the first keyframe. If you can't see clearly all this keyframe, you can actually make it bigger. Your timeline, make it bigger here. Can you see the mountain kind of icon here? You can zoom in into your timeline. Okay, I click here to make it bigger, the view. Okay, something like that. Then I select the first keyframe, Control C, Control V. Okay, so when I play back, okay, it's moving a bit, too little. Can you see the body is actually moving? Okay, so if it is too little, right, I go back to the second keyframe, I bring it down a bit more. Okay, then I try to play back. Now it looks like jumping. Never mind, whatever it is. Okay, as long as there is a movement, okay, it's done. So now what I do, I just copy and paste all these 3 keyframes. Okay, I put my timeline at the third keyframe here. Highlight all the keyframe. You can shift click also can. Select the first one, shift click, Control C, Control V. Okay, and then I put my time indicator here. Okay, another way, instead of using your mouse to go to that keyframe, you can also press this button here. Can you see there is a 2 arrow, and then in the middle there is something? This is go to next keyframe. This is go to previous keyframe. And the middle one is add keyframe. Okay, don't add keyframe. Just go to the last keyframe here. I highlight everything. Control C, Control V. And then I click again this arrow. Go to last keyframe. Highlight everything. Control C, Control V. Highlight everything. Control C. Make sure you put your time indicator at the end. Paste. Okay, and then I try to play back this. Can you see that? Okay, then it stops jumping because we haven't. To zoom out, I drag back this thing so that I can see everything. Okay, so I go to my last keyframe. I go to here and then I click previous keyframe. I'm at the last keyframe. Highlight all the keyframe. Control C, Control V. Same thing, I put my time here and then go to previous keyframe. Highlight everything, all the keyframe. Make sure select the keyframe. The keyframe should be highlighted in blue color. Control C and Control V. Okay, one more time. Still got a little bit more there. Okay, I just Control V. Okay, then play. You need to wait until the green color loaded, then only it will be in real time. Can?
So I'm wondering, MacBook cannot paste the keyframe, right?
Command V, Command V.
B for boy.
Command V, Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. Oh, okay.
Command V, not Control V, Command V. Sometimes this Mac, right? Sometimes you need to press Control because last time don't have the Control key. Last time only got Command key. Okay, and then the new Mac got Command and also Control. So sometimes you need to press Control, sometimes you need to press Command. Did you got it? Okay, do you want me to repeat? If done, just put a done there. One more time on the body. All right, sure, no problem. Okay, I go to first frame. I click the stopwatch. Okay, now no keyframe. All right. Okay, first thing, okay, make sure you are back at the default position. Okay, go to first frame. Listen very carefully. Don't follow together with me. Listen first, then you do. Okay, if you're doing while I'm talking, you won't catch up. Okay, so you must go to first frame, listen first, click the stopwatch, and then go further 5 frames. How do I go further 5 frames? I type in here, just type 5, enter. And then I click and drag the second value. Click and drag. I'm moving it down. Don't move up, but down. Okay, move it down. Okay, and then add another 5 more frames. I can type in here 10, or I can also press page down in the keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now at 10th frame, I copy and paste the first keyframe. Okay, so I need to select the first keyframe. If like this, I cannot really see clearly. Okay, very difficult for me to press. So what I do, I zoom in. How do I zoom in? I can actually drag this thing. Can you see this? The mountain icon down there, make it bigger. This means we are zooming in into the timeline. Zoom in. Okay, I select the first keyframe, I copy and paste. So this one, original position, this position is down a bit, then go back to original. So I have the car is actually moving a bit only, not much. Okay, after that, after you have this animation, right, I go to my last keyframe here. Okay, go to this keyframe, highlight these 3 keyframe, Control C, Control V. Okay, and then I click again this, go to next, okay, highlight one more time, Control C, Control V. Go to next keyframe, highlight everything, Control C, Control V. Okay, I put my time here, go to previous frame. Okay, put my time here, go to previous frame. I still come to this end keyframe, highlight all the keyframe, Control C, Control V. I put my time here, go to previous keyframe, highlight everything, Control C, Control V. Now I need to zoom out because I cannot see already, right? I need to zoom out. Okay, you can click and drag this thing. Okay, zoom out totally. Highlight all the keyframe, Control C. Okay, you go to here, go to previous keyframe. Make sure you put your time indicator at the end of the keyframe. Then Control C, Control V. And here, one more time, just Control V. Okay, so when I play back, I have this a bit of movement on the card. Okay, not much, little bit. Okay, got it, Mr. Om? Okay, thanks, brother. Any more? Any questions? If done, can you put a done there? If you're doing, just put a doing or whatever. My app hang. Okay. This computers, right? You need to be patient. Can you save your file, guys? Okay, just worry that if anything goes wrong, then you still have something there. Save your file. Save file, save, and then put a name and find a location. Okay, very good, done. Anybody else got problem? Why is so little done? How about the rest? How to copy that time? How to copy? Control C to copy. And then when you are pasting, right, you have to make sure you are pasting. I zoom in. Okay. The first one, you add keyframe. The second one, you move it down a bit, the second value. The third one, you copy and paste the first one. Okay. How to move frame by using page up and down. Okay, I'm not sure on the Mac. Do you have a up and down on Mac? Don't you have up and down, the page up, page down in Mac? If we edit the second keyframe, the fourth, sixth, eighth, and so on, will follow it too. No, it won't. It won't follow. Okay, yeah, I understand your question. For example, because we copy paste this, right? For example, here I copy paste. If I edit this value, I move further down. Okay, this one is still up. The fourth is still the same. Okay, it won't follow. So that's why your positioning, you make sure it is right at the first time here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, to copy and paste, so I move this up a bit. Let's say something like this. I put here, highlight, copy paste. Go to here, highlight, copy paste. Okay. All right. Okay, shall we proceed? How to close the app and doing it once again. Okay, you go to Task Manager, you untask your After Effects. Task Manager, you right click on your taskbar, Task Manager, and then you select your After Effects, right click and task. Then you open back. Okay, done up to here. Shall we proceed, guys? Or do you need time?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now we're going to animate the positioning. Okay, rotation done, body movement done. Now we want to move the car from outside of the frame, move in, and then after for a while it goes out. All right, so I go to my first frame. I need to animate the position of this shadow. Okay, I press P. Select the shadow layer, press P for position, first frame, then I just drag the first value. First value is the X value. X is horizontal movement. Okay, so I just click and drag. Okay, click and drag until it is not visible. Okay, something like that. I click the stopwatch. Okay, click the stopwatch. I have a keyframe. Let's say I go to time about, let's say 2 seconds maybe. Okay, I'm just simply putting the 2 seconds or maybe 5 seconds or whatever lah. Let's say I go to 4 seconds. I move it in back, click and drag the X value, something like that. I have my second keyframe. Then I want it to remain until let's say something like 26 seconds. I add keyframe. If you want to the object remain at the same place or the value remain at the same value, you need to click add keyframe. Means normally when we change value only we get the keyframe, right? I want this value to be here. Okay, one way is you add keyframe, this one, add or remove keyframe, if you can see this. Okay, click this, you will get the same value. Or you can copy and paste this value. So means over here, the car won't be moving. The car will remain at the same place. You see at the beginning, it's outside. Then it's enter in. Then it will remain for some time. The last frame, I go to last frame and then I bring it out. Okay, after you've done this, you need to try to play back. Can you try this? You want me to repeat? Do you want me to repeat or try first?
Please repeat, Mr. Yavinesh.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I go to first frame. Oh, sorry, not here. Okay, originally it's here. I click the stopwatch to remove. Okay, I go to my first frame. First frame, I don't want to see my car. After some time only, I want the car to enter, right? So first frame, I move it out. Okay, click and drag the first value for position. Okay, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Okay, it's already outside. Click the stopwatch so that I have a keyframe. I must have a keyframe. Okay, at this position, this is the keyframe. Okay, then I go to 4 seconds, let's say. I bring it in. I just click and drag again, the first value, something like this. Okay, so if I play back, right, from outside and then it enters in. Okay, then I want it to remain until 24 seconds maybe. Okay, I add keyframe. Add keyframe is here. Okay, why add keyframe? Because I don't want the car to move around. I want it to be on the same place. So this keyframe and this keyframe should be the same value. All right. And then I go to last frame. I move it out. Click and drag. Click and drag. Okay. So now when I play back, okay, I have this. Okay, it's still loading. Okay, you can try first. You can try first. Okay, if the car is moving too fast, how to slow it down? Okay, you see your composition is supposed to be 30 seconds, right? Third keyframe. Okay, sure. Okay, can you repeat how you put the third keyframe? Okay, before that, how do we make the animation faster or slower? You see, for example, like mine. Okay, just take a look at mine. It enters for 4 seconds. Very slow, right? Okay, and then it keeps there. I put here my time and then I play back. When it goes out also very slow. Okay, so if I want to speed up the entering part here, I need to make this duration shorter. Means the duration between the keyframe. So what I do, the first keyframe, this is correct. The second keyframe, I click and drag it closer to the first keyframe. How much close? You can try. Okay, let's say I put that about 1 second there. About 1 second, not exactly about. So now when I click, much faster. Okay, so this one also what I do, I just move it out. Okay, so let's say, put it here lah. Stop, back, play. Then it goes out. Okay, still I feel that I can still speed up this part and also here. Okay, so when I make the keyframe closer, means it's become faster. Okay, done. Can you repeat how to put the third keyframe? Yes. Okay, so I go to first frame. Okay, I delete. I click the stopwatch. I have my first keyframe here. So I change my time to maybe about 1 second here. Okay, and then I move it in. Okay, this is my second keyframe. For the third keyframe, I put somewhere here, let's say maybe here. I just click the add keyframe. Can you see here? Add keyframe, the middle one. There is an arrow pointing to the left. There is an arrow pointing to the right. In the middle, add keyframe. This is how you do the third keyframe. The fourth keyframe, move your time, move your object. Okay, click and drag. Okay. Something like this. So this keyframe, I put it at the end here, at the 30th second maybe, or maybe somewhere here. Okay, next question. Can we make the keyframe like desired? Yes, you can. Okay, later I'll show you, not now. Okay, by default, all keyframe that you put, by default, is a linear movement. Okay, so the movement is not so interesting. Okay, it just like come in and then stay and then go out. Okay, not interesting. So we need to edit the graph of the animation. Later I will show you how to edit the graph. So far, if done, please put a done there. If question, please ask now. If there is a question, ask now. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now next thing is I'm going to add some text there. Okay, so we have a car coming in. Okay, let's say if you, okay, so before put text, I want to put the logo, for example. Okay, when the car is moving out, I want the logo to appear. So I'm going to go to import again. Okay, I want you to import also. Import the logo, the Proton logo there. Okay, select the Proton logo, import, drag and drop into your timeline. Okay, after import, you select that file, drag and drop to the timeline over here like this. Then let go your mouse. Can you do it? Do it now, please. Okay, have you import and put it in a layer? Anyone got problem putting in the image? Okay, great, great. Okay, after you put in, the image is very big. So what I do, I select that Proton logo here, press S for scale, and then I scale it down a bit. Something like this. Okay, scale it down. Then you go to your, okay, scale down first. If any part you want me to repeat, please let me know. Shall we proceed? I don't see any reply. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I want this logo to appear when the car moves out of the screen. Okay, so for example, I go at the beginning, this keyframe, the keyframe before it moves out. Okay, the keyframe before it moves out, I go to that time, I select the image. Okay, I go to P for position, I move it out as well. Okay, just click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, something like that. Then I add a keyframe for the position. When the car is already out, right, which is this keyframe, I go to that keyframe, and then I move the logo inside. Okay, something like this. Okay, so when I play back, just take a look. When I play back, okay, car is there. Car is moving out and the logo appears. Can you all do that? Okay, if you notice, what I did here, I'm just playing back this area. If you notice, there is a one line here. Okay, by default, there is a one big line, one small line, small blue color dot here, and there is a one black blue color, a longer line here. That is your work area. If you want to preview a certain area only, which part do you want me to repeat? If you want to preview a certain area, you click and drag this work area. Okay, and at the back also same thing. Let's say I want to preview only this. I can click and drag this work area. Okay, so when I play, I only play this section. I don't have to wait for 30 seconds to preview only the logo part. Okay, I can make this work area shorter so that I can immediately see how it's look like. Or else you need to wait until the whole thing play, then only you can see the result. So if I reduce the workspace area, I can preview immediately. Jibita, repeat which part, please. Which part you want me to repeat? The logo, is it? Okay. For the logo, does it have a align center button to center image on the stage? Okay, yes, we do. Okay, I'll repeat the logo one more time. Okay, I remove the keyframe for the image. Okay, so now we have the car moving out. Make sure you select the car or the shadow position here. This is where we move it out. You go to specifically that frame. Okay, so for example, I go to here. This is where the car is already out, right? I want the logo to be here. When the car is out, I want the logo to be here. So what I do, I select the logo, I add keyframe, click the stopwatch. Okay, so when the car is out, the logo's position is this, correct, done. Okay, so I go back to my previous keyframe, which is the car is in the composition. I click and drag the logo's position out. You shouldn't be seeing the logo right now, something like this. Okay, so if I go page down, okay, while the car is moving out, the logo also coming in. Can you see that? Okay, After Effects out of memory. Okay, what you can do is, if out of memory, sometimes when you see your After Effects become lagging, one thing you can do is you go to Edit, Preferences, Media and Disk Cache. Okay, you clear the whatever cache file is there. Okay, because when you play back many times, right, it will load into your memory. So you just clear the empty disk cache. Click that, empty that, and then click OK, and then click here, clean database and cache. Also, you just click. Then you try to click OK. For the logo, okay, the align button. Okay, come back to this logo. Let's say I for the second keyframe, let me see. Let's say for the second keyframe, I accidentally moved it somewhere else. Okay, and then I don't know where exactly I need to put back. Okay, so I want to align this to the center. I go to align panel here. You'll see align panel. Okay, if you don't see the align panel, okay, I already closed my align panel. I go to window, choose align. Okay, I have my align panel. Click here, click here. Okay, align horizontally, align vertically. Okay, can Imran? Okay, no problem. Okay, come back here. Okay, if done, can you guys put a done there? Repeat, clear cache. Okay, you go to Edit, Preferences, Media and Disk Cache. Okay, click on that. Edit, Preferences, Media and Disk Cache. Okay, empty disk cache, clean database and cache. Just click that. Okay, when you clear this, your After Effects will be responding much faster, a bit lah, not much, a bit. Okay, and one more thing, you close After Effects and you open back. Okay, you try that, Halim. File, exit, and then open back After Effects, Open back your project. Done. If I want the logo to appear in fade manner, instead of moving position, you can also fade it. Okay, for example, guys, everybody take a look, don't do anything. Okay, I don't want the logo to move, let's say, just listen, don't do anything. Okay, so I remove the keyframe for position. As I mentioned to you before, anywhere you see there is a stopwatch, you can animate. Okay, let's say I don't like it to move. I want it to be fade in. All right, so I can animate the opacity. If I go to shadow, I go to a position. Okay, this is where the car has gone out, right? And the logo should be 100% opacity. So I click the stopwatch for opacity. Okay, so this is 100%. So when the car is in, right? Okay, when the car is inside, I want the opacity to be 0. Okay, so when I play back, okay, while it's going out, the logo appears. Okay, maybe you don't want it to appear so early lah, because it's overlapping, right? So I go to page down, page down, page down, page down. Okay, this is the moment where I want the logo to start to appear. So what I do, I select this 2 keyframe, I just move it. Okay, if you can't see, you zoom in and then you move it. All right, so here I go to page down, page down. Okay, the car is start to move. Logo haven't start to appear. Logo haven't start appear. Now you can see the logo is appearing and it doesn't overlap with the car. Something like this. Okay, so this is opacity. Let's say I don't want opacity. I don't like opacity. Okay, so I remove the opacity, change back to 100. I try with scale and rotation, for example. Scale and rotation. So this is where the car is still here, and this is where the car is gone. I add a keyframe for scale and rotation, let's say. So I go back to this frame. Here, I shouldn't be seeing the logo, right? So what I do, I make the scale to 0. And original rotation, I put, let's say, 90 degrees, for example, 90. Okay, originally 90. The second keyframe, it becomes 0. If I page down, okay, the logo starts to appear while spinning. Got it? Okay, so maybe I don't want it to appear before the car is lah. Let's say I want it to appear somewhere here. Okay, so I highlight both 4 keyframes here. I just move it a bit because I don't want it to overlap with the car. Okay, so when I just play back that area, make it smaller, and then I play something like that. Okay. You must understand the concept of a keyframe so that you can play around with all these values here. Clear or not?
So can you repeat the logo, how it appear?
Fading or scale and rotation?
Yes, correct.
Which one?
The final part where it appear and yeah, the way it come out like this effect. Yeah.
Okay. So here you see the scale is 0, the rotation is 90 degrees. I add keyframe. Here, scale is 100. Sorry, not 100. The scale is according to whatever size earlier lah. Okay, and then the rotation become 0. That's all. Okay, so let's say I remove back lah. Remove back, delete. I don't have anything, no animation or nothing. It's still there. Okay, when the car moves out, I go to that frame here. Okay, I go to this frame. I add keyframe for scale and rotation. All right. Then I go back to where the car already in the composition. I change the scale to 0. Okay, I already have a keyframe for scale, and the rotation I put there. Let's say 180 degrees. 180. Enter. Okay, if you want it to spin many times and appear, you put a higher number, 720. For example, I just simply put a value. So when I play back, okay, spinning many times is not nice. Okay, you put 90 degrees or 100 degrees is enough. So 0, 180. Okay, something like this. And the appearing is a very slow. I don't like a slow movement. So what I do, I highlight these two keyframes, I make it closer to each other. Okay, so let's try now. Okay, so it's much faster. Clear? Is it clear? Why everyone is silent? Guys, anybody there?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're there. Okay, we have about 98 participants right now. I don't get a single yes, and after so many times repeating. Okay, thank you. Okay, cool.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
How do you know which keyframe to move to make it faster? Is it the initial one or the
Again, repeat. I can't hear you.
you know, to make it faster, you move the keyframe.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we know which keyframe to move, the initial one or the final one?
Can either one also can.
Oh,
Okay, so for example, I undo back. Okay, why I move the front one? Because I don't want it to overlap with the card. You see, the logo is already there. Can you see the logo?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want the logo to overlap with the card. That's why I move the front one. Okay, so means I go to next keyframe, next keyframe, next keyframe. The logo haven't appeared. The logo haven't appeared yet. Next keyframe, next keyframe. Now only it starts to appear. Okay, that's why I move the front one. If I move the back one, right? Okay, if I move this one, okay, also can, but then it will overlap with the card. Got it? Got it, Yavin? Okay, so I highlight both, I just move it up. Okay. Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, I make the workspace longer back. Okay, so now the car animation is done. Now I want to put some text here. A simple one, a very simple one. Just put one text and then we try to animate that. Okay, to put in a text, I go to type tool up here, horizontal type tool, click that, and then click in your composition. Then you type Proton by Proton X50 now, for example. Okay, and then if after you type, right, if you want to move your text or whatever, you need to click this selection tool immediately. Okay, when you click the selection tool, you will have a bounding box here. You can click and drag. Okay, or you can use the align panel. Where is the align panel? If you don't see the align panel, you go to window, you choose align. Okay, window align, you click horizontally, align horizontally, align vertically. Something like this, but then it will be overlapping with the car, right? Of course, then you move it up. To move up, you can use up and down arrow key, left, right arrow key in your keyboard, or you can just click and drag, move up, or you can go to your layer here, go to transform, position, click and drag the position. Okay, there are many ways actually. Okay, I already aligned so that it's in the middle. Then I go to position. Under, you select the text layer, you press P for position, you click and drag the Y value. Something like this. Can you all do it now? If done, please let me know. If you want me to repeat, please let me know.
Repeat, please.
Yes, sure. Okay, I removed my text. Okay, I have nothing here. I go to horizontal type tool up here, click, and then in your composition, click, and then you type your text. Okay, by now. All right. Then if I want to format my text here, right? Okay, I can highlight my text here. I go to the character panel here. Okay, I have font type, bold or whatever, and then the font size. Okay, change the font size, change the font. Let's say I want to put Arial black maybe. Okay, Arial black. Okay, I have this. And then what else? The color, I want to change the color. Click the color and then I want it to be, let's say blue color maybe. Okay, I click OK. Something like this. If I want to move the text, click the selection tool. Click the selection tool. Then go to align panel. If you can't find the align panel, you go to window, align. Okay, you will have an align panel, horizontally align, vertically align. Then you go to the timeline, select the text layer, press P for position, move it up. If done, put a done there. If you want me to repeat, please let me know. If any question, please ask.
Okay, done.
Okay, great. The rest, any questions? Okay, I guess still doing. Okay, I give you 1 more minute. If done, put in the chat box done, then I can proceed. I will show you how to smoothen your animation. Instead of linear movement, how can we create a smooth animation? Okay. Okay, so we're going to start to animate this text. I go to my first frame. Okay, so first frame, the car haven't appeared yet. I want the car to appear first. Then only I want this text to appear. Same way, you can do rotation, you can do scale, you can do position, you can do opacity. Okay, but I want you to try to use something else. Maybe rotation and also scale maybe. Or rotation and position also can. Okay, so for example, here, what I do, I go to select the text. Okay, after the car appear, only I want the text to appear, right? Okay, so here only I want to start the animation. Okay, so what I do, I can actually trim this track, means this layer, the front part I don't want. Okay, so I can bring my cursor at the beginning. When you see small black color arrow, 2 arrows pointing left and right, you click and drag, something like this. Okay, so that I know that this layer is starting from here without actually checking the keyframe. Okay, it's just an additional stuff lah. Okay, so now what I do, I go to few seconds, something like here, to the right a bit, and then I go to my position and rotation. Okay, position and rotation. I press P for position, Shift R so that I can see the rotation also. P and Shift R. Or you can press R and Shift P. For example, I press R, I see rotation. I press Shift P, I see position and rotation now. Or I press P first for position and Shift R to see these two values. Okay, I click stopwatch for position and rotation, and then I go back few frames here, something like this. And then position, maybe rotation, I put 90 degrees, something like that, or maybe negative 90. Okay, by now, and then I move it out of the composition here. Okay, click and drag, something like this. So the animation, it will become like this. Okay, clear? Can you all do it? After the car, yeah, sure, can. Okay, I remove. I already have my tag. Let's say I put it full. I don't want to confuse you all. Okay, so I check my time here. Okay, the car is appearing. Okay, and then the appearing is about 1 second here. So what I do, I go to time, let's say 3 seconds maybe. At time 3 seconds, I want the text to appear. So what I do, I add keyframe for position and rotation. And also scale, let's say. 3 different values: position, scale, rotation. Add a keyframe first. Okay, but make sure your position is correct lah. This is the last position that I want the text to be. So I add keyframe for these 3 values. Okay, and then I go back. Okay, how much do I go back? Let's say about 1 second. Okay, so now it's 302. So I need to go to 202. So 202, type, enter. Okay, so now my time is 2 seconds, 2 frame. What I do, I rotate this minus 90. Okay, and then I move this out. Okay, somewhere here, and then I scale it to 0. Okay, so the animation that's going to happen is this. Let me click outside. Something like this. Okay. Okay, so if I play back, can you do it? If done, put a done there. Okay, good. Done, if done. Okay, repeat. Yes, no problem. Okay, so I remove my keyframes, everything. I click the arrow here, click the arrow for transform. Okay, I have this, all this. Okay, first thing, you must put your time indicator where you want your text to appear. Okay, after the car appear, I move forward a few seconds, then I want the text to appear at about 3 seconds maybe. So I go to 3 seconds. Okay, I add keyframe for position, scale, rotation. Okay, keyframe for position, scale, and rotation. Then I go back to the left side. Okay, because initially we don't want it to be here, right? Okay, so we have to move it out. To move it out, I can actually move the position first, but why I always do the rotation? For example, you see, if I move it now, okay, it is not there, right? Okay, it is here. If I make the rotation now, okay, let's say I put that negative 90, you see my object is over here. Okay, so when I play, right, okay, it haven't appeared yet, haven't appeared. So the moment it appears, it's already very big. Okay, so I need to put my text near to my composition. Okay, nearer. So the position, you put it later. Okay, so do the rotation first, then only you move it out. When you move out, it should be somewhere around here. Okay, then only you scale it down. Scale down to 0 maybe. Or 50% also can. No problem. Okay, so when you try to play back, okay, you get this. If done, please type in the chat box, done. Okay, 2% done, 3% done, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8, 9, 10. All right, okay, enough lah. 10 people is fine. Okay, so now, okay, you see the movement type is very linear. The text movement is very linear. So I stop first. Okay, I go nearer a bit by click and drag this, or you press plus button in keyboard also can. Okay, all this keyframe is a linear movement. Okay, the speed of the text is the same from the beginning of the keyframe until the end. The movement is linear. So what you need to do is you highlight the keyframe. Okay, we have a question here. If we have to do it again after the app, okay, thank you. Thank you, Iqbal. All right. Okay, let me complete this. Okay, so if you want to make your animation interesting, the way how the car moving, how the text moving, you need to adjust your speed instead of you leave it as linear. Okay, I highlight everything. I go to right click on the keyframe. Okay, remember on the keyframe, not outside of the keyframe. Okay, you need to right click on the keyframe. You go to keyframe assistant. You click on easy ease. Sorry. Okay, easy ease, which is shortcut is F9. Okay, you can press F9 also can. Okay, you click on that. Okay, now the diamond shape, it changed a bit. The shape is different now. Okay, so after you have done this, you go to the graph editor over here. Okay, click on the graph editor. You will see the graph of the movement. Okay, so if you don't see graph something like this, you right click here, you go to edit speed graph. Instead of value graph, by default it will be in value graph. So you change it to edit speed graph. Okay, you will get something like this. Then what you do, you click this icon, fit all graph to view. Okay, your graph will be bigger, something like this. Then you select the front part over here. Okay, you cannot just click. Okay, if you click, you will be selecting only one value. You need to click and drag like this. Then you will see a yellow color handle. You need to just click and drag this handle horizontally. Okay, let's say something like this. I let go, I click back this icon. I select the back part of the keyframe here. Okay, draw a box around that. Then drag the handle like this. And your overall shape, it should look like something like this. Okay, so what happened? Okay, what we are actually doing is we are trying to make the animation when the curve is flat, right? It's almost flat, means it's moving very slowly. Okay, when the curve is very steep like this, okay, it means it's moving very fast. Okay, at the end also same, it's moving very slow. So when I try to play back this, just take a look. When I try to play back this, can you see how it's appearing? Or is it lagging? Can you see the difference or not? Okay, because maybe from your preview, right? Okay, maybe it does not so clear because maybe the internet is lagging, the way it moves, maybe jerking or whatever, I'm not sure. Okay, but then it will slowly move in and then and it's landing, it will become slow down. Yeah, speed ramping. Okay, so maybe 1 second you are not very clearly see this, so I make it slightly longer duration so that you can see clearly. I try to play now. Can you see that? When it starting slow, in the middle very fast, and then ending also slow. Okay. Okay, I'm going to repeat one more time. Okay. So right click, keyframe assistant. Where is that? Let me see. Keyframe interpolation, linear. Okay, so this is the default animation that I have. Okay, this default. Okay, linear movement, not nice. All right, so any motion graphic you do, you must edit the graph. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, up to here clear, right? So next one, what you do, stop first, highlight all the keyframe, press F9 in your keyboard. F9. Press F9, it will become like this. Okay, the icon change. The icon of the keyframe changes. Then third, you go to graph editor, right click on the graph, you choose edit speed graph. Okay, and then you click fit all graph to view, or you can also zoom in. How to zoom in? You can go to press a plus button in your keyboard, or you can just use this icon. Okay, not so big, maybe slightly bigger, something like this. Okay, you can adjust the view to zoom in and then highlight the front part. Why we are highlighting? Why not just click? If I click, I'm actually moving only one graph, one position, one of the value only, because we have three value. We have position, we have a scale, we have a rotation. That's why we click and drag to select all three graphs. Okay, so I click and drag, and make sure you don't move up and down, you just move it straight. Okay, over here also click and drag, both sides, something like this. Okay, so that I get this shape. So when I play back, I have this. Okay, you can click back your graph editor to close the graph editor. Questions? Any questions? Guys? Okay, no worries. Okay, I'll just continue first now. Okay, you can watch the recorded version on later. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, stop playing. Okay, the next thing is, if you look at here, right, the car is moving very fast and the tire is spinning very fast as well. And the text also, let's say, is moving fast. Okay, in normal real life, when you try to shake your head, right, all the view, whatever you are seeing, it become blur. All right, so that means there is a motion blur. How do you add motion blur for this? Okay, so what I do, instead of applying effects one by one to each layer, I go to layer, new adjustment layer. I create an adjustment layer, and then I go to effects and preset. Where is my effects and preset? Effects and preset. I go to type. Let me see. One sec. Okay, the moment you click effects and preset, right, it will be like it will process for a while. You need to wait for a while, few seconds. You need to wait. Okay, so I'm going to make this. Okay, effects and preset. You go to type force, FORCE. You'll find CC force motion blur. You apply this effect to this adjustment layer. I drag and drop onto the adjustment layer. Select the adjustment layer. You will see effect control panel. The moment you apply any effect, you will get the effect control panel. Here what I do, I increase the motion blur sample if you want. If you increase, it will take longer to render or to preview. Okay, let's say I leave it as it is, and then shutter angle, how much blur you want to make. For example, now you see the by now is already blurry. Okay, if I increase this to 360, for example, it will become more blurry, and you can see the steps. Okay, can you see that? This is the motion blur sample. Let's say I put that 16. Now better a bit. If I increase more to 32, I'm just doubling the value. Now it's much better. But then when you preview, it will take very long to show you. So I just remain as 8, and this one I remain 360. And if I go backward, right? Go back. Okay, can you see the car is blurry now? Okay, so the car is blurry. Okay, and the tire also will be blurry. So let's say I make this shorter, the preview area. Okay, I play back. Can you see the tire? You don't see the pattern anymore because it's blurry. Clear? Yes, I can repeat, no problem. Okay, I remove my adjustment layer. Okay, now it's not blurry. Okay, even the text is not blurry, very sharp. Okay, very sharp. Okay, let's take a look at the car. Okay, over here. Okay, now it is not blurry. So what I do, I go to layer, new adjustment layer, go to effects and preset. You type in force. Okay, go to effects and preset panel. You type force, you will see force motion blur. Drag and drop to the adjustment layer. Click, drag and drop on the adjustment layer. Okay, then you go to effect control panel. Make sure you select the adjustment layer. If let's say, for example, I select the text layer, I don't see any effect. If I select the adjustment layer, I have the effect. Okay, here you can adjust two values here, motion blur sample and shutter angle. Shutter angle, you see the moment I apply the effect, the car become blurry. If I want more blur, right? If I want more blur, I increase the shutter angle to 360 maybe. I become more blur, but then you can see the number of sample. So you increase the number of sample also. Okay, if you want more nice, you increase further. All right. Got it, guys? Okay, basically you have to practice first lah, then only you'll able to understand better. Okay, so yeah, it's already more than 1 p.m. now. Okay, so you have your car moving in, okay, and then your text moving in. If you want to move out the text, same way how you animate, you just animate out. Okay, so for example here, I have position, scale, rotation. I go here. If I want to remain this, the text to remain for a while, I just copy and paste this keyframe. Control C, Control V. So it will be remain at this place. If I want to move it out, I copy and paste the first keyframe. So it will go back out. How it goes out, you can see from here it's remain. If I go to page down, next frame, next frame, next frame, okay, it repeats back how it enters. Okay, I just copy and paste the first keyframe. I didn't do any animation. Okay, if you want it to move out to the opposite side, if you want to move it to the right hand side, you go back to this keyframe, the last keyframe here. You just move the position, move it to the other side. Okay, so the rotation and the scale I don't change. Okay, something like this. So if I play back, next frame, okay, it is going on the other side. Something like this. Clear, guys? Okay, it's entering. Okay, text is appearing. Okay, it will be remaining for a while. You can see the green color is loading. So this is not the actual speed. You have to wait until the whole thing become green color, the timeline. Okay, then only you will be able to see the actual speed of the video. Okay, it's entering, spinning. Okay, text appearing, then text gone. Understand or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, after this, you need to export your video. Sorry, before that, I want to add just a simple music here, just to show you. I'm going to import music, the MP3 file. Okay, after you import, we just drag and drop to your timeline. Okay, so select the MP3 file, drag and drop to the timeline, something like this. If I click the small arrow here, click again, you'll be able to see the waveform, the music waveform. Okay, so here you see the ending. Let's say I want to finish my video 30 seconds, right? Okay, here, the ending part, I want the music to fade out. Okay, so I add a keyframe for audio level. I go to somewhere around here. I put a negative 40 maybe, for example. Okay, so the volume will lower down at the ending, and then move further a bit more. Okay, why negative 40? Why not 0 or whatever? Because the default is already 0. Okay, so I put negative 40 first, then lower down to negative 80 so that there is totally no voice at the back. Okay, so if I play back here, just to show you. One sec. Okay. Okay, if you have this motion blur, right, forced motion blur, it will take what we call a very long time for it to preview. Okay, so I just temporarily turn off the adjustment layer. When you off the adjustment layer, no blur. Okay, so that it can load much faster. You see? Okay. Okay, did you notice how it's fade out at the ending? Yes, no? Yes, okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay, so at the beginning also same thing. If you want to fade in at the beginning, you add a keyframe, okay, and then go at the first frame, you lower down the decibel here, negative 40 maybe, something like this. Okay, so slowly the music will increase, and then at the ending it will fade out. Okay, after this, what do? You go to export your video. You go to File, Export, Add to Media Encoder queue. Since you don't have media encoder, I believe some of you maybe have. If you have, you click Export to Media Encoder, and then you choose a MP4 file. All right. Okay, if you don't have, you go to Composition, you go to Add to Render Queue. You click on Add to Render Queue. There is another panel will appear here. You choose Output Module, click the Lossless here. Okay, and then the format. Okay, here the format is limited. That's why I ask you to export to media encoder. Here you don't have a MP4 file. For example, I choose a MOV file. Okay, this one, the rest I leave it as default. Then I click OK. And output to, where do you want to save your file? Click here, and then choose, let's say I choose a desktop maybe. Okay, I choose desktop, and then I save, and then click the render button. Click. So it will be rendering. The work area, if you remember, the work area, we make it shorter so that we can preview that area, right? It will render only the work area. So make sure before you send to rendering, you make it fully from the beginning to the ending. Then only you add to render queue. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, very good. So we have completed the lesson. Okay, so I'll put this on YouTube and then share the link to you guys. Then you can refer back the ending part. All right. So because we have a very limited time, this 3 hours is extremely short time actually. Okay, so you need days worth to practice. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I want to share you something for. Sorry, let it to render. What is that? One sec. Okay, we are planning to organize what we call a paid class for 3 days. Okay, and then planning for end of the month, this month, the 4th week. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what are the things that you'll be learning. Okay, let me just open this. Yeah, latest session also same. It's a repeated claim under Pukiso. Who's going to claim under Pukiso? What do you mean claim under Pukiso? You mean for the paid class? No, we are not registered with Pukiso scheme. I'm going to share here. 1 second. Okay, thank you, Izzat. So the thing that we learned just now is actually something like this. Okay, just moving the images, okay, moving the text, and then you apply motion blur. Okay, you will get this kind of effect. Okay, anyway, if it is lagging, I'll be sharing this video later on to you. Okay, so this is one of the things that you'll be learning. Okay, I'm going to open another one. Can you see the video?
Yeah, we can see the video.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Awesome.
Why is that changing? Okay, let me stop this. I drag and drop. Okay. Okay, so you'll be learning how to animate the shapes, okay, also text, okay, and then add some glow and all that, okay, something like this. This is animating the shapes, all right? This is actually something like a fire kind of effect, but then it's a different color on it. Okay, it's actually a fire kind of text. Okay, this is to animate following a path, whether it's a text, it's an object, you can animate the text follow path, and this is what we call audio spectrum. When you have an audio, okay, you can actually animate the spectrum of it. Okay, you will be learning this as well. Okay, just forward this. This is actually just a plain image. Okay, it's just a photograph. The guy will be at the background will be sky. Okay, and then we cut it out, and then we animate using the puppet pin. You see the hand is moving, the skateboard is moving, the person is moving, the background is animated. Okay, just to repeat again. Okay, something like this. Okay, you'll be learning how to use the puppet pin to animate images, and this is actually something like a space scene. Okay, you'll be learning how to create a globe from an image. Okay, the map can be anything, and this is the HUD effect. Okay, so you can integrate effects with the video. Okay, so this one you'll be learning from scratch. This is not template. Okay, you'll do it from scratch, from nothing. You'll draw the pattern and then you animate the images. Okay, so I'll share the details on you guys because I haven't prepared the link for you guys to register. Okay, I'll keep you updated. I'm planning to I'll open a WhatsApp group. Okay, and then I'll post the recorded video and also update on the upcoming class, the paid one. All right. So any question you want to ask before we end the session? And one more thing, please don't leave yet. I need you to fill up a form. Okay, one sec. Okay, this is actually the older form.
Sorry, sir. Do
Yeah.
do you have the price for the class?
Do I what?
The price for the class.
Okay, actually the price is 1350. Okay, I'm planning to give discount of 60% for the participant from this class, but the normal price will be still marketed for the normal price for the corporate companies. So it's going to be 60% discount. Okay, so, I haven't calculated how much. Okay, I'll share this link. Okay, please fill up the form. Okay, and there is what we call there is a Google review link as well. Okay, if you feel this session is beneficial for you, please help me to fill up the Google review. Okay.
Will do, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I will add you guys into the WhatsApp group.
All right.
Okay,
Sir.
anything else you want to ask? Thank you. No problem.
Sorry, sir. Can you just repeat about the render process? File, export, and to render queue, right?
Add to render queue, but you need to have a media encoder for that.
Oh.
Because when you don't have media encoder, try to click that. What error message does it shows you?
Logs arrow only, nothing. Because when I render the render setting, I just can only render on 900x428 for the resolution.
Did you add to render queue?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Can you share your screen?
Okay, sir.
Okay, you click on lossless. Click on lossless. Cancel. Click on lossless. Okay, you already add to queue 2 files. Can you see that?
Yeah.
There is 1 and 2. Okay, click on lossless and then choose AVI or MOV.
MOV.
You choose MOV because AVI, the codec, if not available, the file is going to be very big. QuickTime.
Okay.
Click QuickTime and then the rest leave it as default. Then click OK.
Oh.
And then output 2, where you want to save your file. Output 2. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. No problem. Then click render button. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. No problem. Okay. The thing is, if you add to render queue, right? Okay, it's going to be what we call the file size is going to be very big. Okay, so better if you download a media encoder and you export that, or else you export to MOV, then you use any other converter, change it to MP4. The file size will be very big, very small if it is a MP4 file.